I hope you all are well. So today we will start our new chapter of history, that is nomads and settled communities. In this chapter we'll study about the tribes, the nomads like we call them Banjaras, and the settled communities. This is the map of India which covers the tribal communities. So we'll study in detail. Beyond big cities, tribal societies. So beyond big cities, when we see the tribal societies, how they were. In Punjab, the Khokar tribe was very influential during the 13th and 14th century. So in Punjab in 13th and 14th century, Khokar tribe was more effective, and the Kamal Khan Gakkar, he belongs to the Khokar tribe. And I think you all have heard about the Mansabdars that we have studied in our chapter, the Mughal Empire. So the Kamal Khan Gakkar, he was of the Gakkar tribe, and he was a Mansabdar in the reign of Akbar. In Multan and Sindh, the Langas and the Argunas dominated extensive regions. So if we talk about the Multan and Sindh, the Langas and the Argunas, they dominated extensive region before they subdued, before they were lured by the Mughals, before they were defeated by the Mughals. And in the western Himalaya, the Shepherd tribe, they lived, and they were known as the Gaddis. Now we will study about the different kinds of societies, those who followed the rules of Varna and those who didn't. Though as we know, our society, it was divided into the four Varna, that is the Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. And this Varna was divided by the Brahmans, and the rulers, they also accepted it. If we see the Delhi Sultanate, even they have followed this hierarchy. Like the Brahmans, they were the superior, the Kshatriyas, they can rule, and the Shudra, they were at the inferior. But though there were many societies, they do not follow this Varna-based society, and they follow their own rules. So they don't want the inequality, they want equality in their society, and these were called as the tribes. So we'll study more. Firstly, we'll study about the Gond tribe. The Gond tribe, they lived in the forest region called Gondwana. So they lived in the forest region called Gondwana, and usually what they do, they practice the shifting cultivation. So if we see the Akbarnama as it was written in the Akbar's rule, it mentions the Gond kingdom of Gara Kataka that had 70,000 villages. So we are studying about the Gond tribe, and it was forested in the Gondwana, and in the Akbarnama also it is mentioned that the Gond kingdom of Gara Kataka, they have the 70,000 villages. The administrative system of these villages were also centralized. That means the villages they were having, but the administrative system was also good. And the emergence of large states changed the nature of Gond society. Just because they want the large state, so that has changed the nature of Gond societies, and certain Gond chiefs now wish to be recognized as Rajput. So as we call the Rajputs is a different community, so the Gond chiefs now, they wish to be recognized as the Rajputs. So now we will study about the Ahuns. They migrated to the Brahmaputra valley from the present day Myanmar in the 13th century. So from where they migrated? They migrated to the Brahmaputra valley, that is in the present day of Myanmar. So they created a new state. How they created a new state? They created their state by suppressing the older political system of the Buinas. That is the name of the landlords. In earlier period it was known as Buinas. So they created their own states, and they have changed the older political system of the landlords. And during the 16th century, they annexed the kingdom of Chatiyas and Koch Hajo and subjugated many other tribes. So what they did in the 16th century, they even annexed the kingdoms of Chatiyas and the Koch Hajo, and even they subjugated many other tribal communities. Even this community know how to use the firearms. They know the use of firearms, and in 1662, the Mughals under Mir Jumla attacked the Ahom kingdom and defeated them. So how they were defeated? In 1662, Mughals they attacked them, and They attacked under the leadership of Mir Jumla, and the Ahom, they were defeated. The Ahom state depended upon the forced labor. So what is the, we have studied the feature of Ahom state is that they depended on the forced labor. What is this forced labor? That means they were forced to work. So forced labor means they were forced to work, and they were known as the Paikas. By the 17th century, the administration became quite centralized, but in the 17th century, the administration system of Ahom has become quite centralized. In their worship concepts, influence of Brahmins increased by the 17th century. So because when the worship, in the worship concept, the Brahmins influence also increased in the 17th century. Now the Ahom, they were influenced by the Brahmins. Literature and culture flourished in their time. This is in the Ahom tribes society. When the Ahom tribe was in existence, the literature and the culture was also flourished. Works known as the Buranjis, they were written first in the Ahom language and then in Assamese. So as we can see, the literature and culture were also flourished. Why? Because the Buranjis, it was firstly written in the Ahom language, then it was written in Assamese. Thank you. I hope this was clear to you. The rest we will study in our next video.